Okay, here's a good one from a practical standpoint. And this, for those of you who are from smaller churches with amateur, maybe less experienced musicians,
Yeah.
to memorize or not to memorize music, and how does that impact worship as a team member and on the congregation?
To memorize or not to memorize
In other
the
words,
music?
Is
reading it okay?
The iPad, the music stand, having charts on stage.
Should we take a quick vote here?
Yeah.
Let's take a quick vote. Yeah.
Memorize. Who says memorize? Yeah.
I mean, I think Daniel's hand is up too.
Daniel's like, I only
read. You want to speak to that, Todd?
I think it's a bit of a crutch.
Yeah.
And if Jeff was up here in his easy chair reading Goldilocks to you guys, that wouldn't engage you in worship. Like when you read a book, you're staring at the book. And there's every one of these people on stage, all these guys are worship leaders. Mm-hmm. And so we can use it's body, soul, and spirit involved in the thing. Mm-hmm. So when you add this reading thing, it's like it takes away that one of the three things you can lead people in worship with. Where you focus your eyes is showing what your attention's on, whether your eyes are closed, looking up, looking around, and leading people with your eyes. I just think it takes out one of the three legs you need to stand on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not a thing that we have to do it sometimes for these big passion events where there's 27 songs coming down the pipe, seemingly 2 weeks out or less.
Day of.
And we're having to learn 27 songs. And then they eventually call it down to the 11 ones that were good in the first place that we should have picked. But on the way down, we've had a lot of music to digest. And so I find myself with an iPad tucked away in front of all these people at these passion conferences, and I can't stand it. So if you can memorize, do it.
And I think there's something that is really authentic that happens when you internalize music, and then you know, mm-hmm. then it comes out that way instead of the other way. It's like you could not really mean it, you know, and go either way. But when you have it memorized, it's like you have to do that inner work. So
I don't know if that. Oh, I didn't know if mine was on. I was gonna say, if you're like a visual learner, sometimes it's helpful for me to chart out a song top to bottom to kind of see how the flow of it. But then as I'm practicing throughout the week, maybe leading up to church, as fast as I can, I get rid of it. So, because if you're only ever watching the chart as you're playing it, and then on Sundays, the first time you play it without the chart, it just you won't internalize it like you said. But because a lot of times the chart will actually make me slower to learn the song. Yeah. Like if I have the chart, I'll look at it and then I'm not memorizing it. But so it's nice for me sometimes to do a quick overview, like, oh, it's verse, chorus, instrumental, bridge, chorus. You know, like there's the layout. And then once I kind of see the flow of it and I realize, oh, it's really, we only hold that, you know, one chord twice at the end of that. Okay, yeah, I got it. And then I kind of tuck it away and then you play it without that. Anyway, I don't know if that's helpful, but.
And I think the point is, the only way to do that is for you to practice, you know, prepare on your own, at home on your own time. So, because one of the questions was, you know, what practical advice could you offer to us who have many volunteers who don't have the drive to really practice? I mean, that's a different issue. We talked about that earlier, and I think if you cast vision to your team around that win, you know, what's the bullseye on the target? Is our role just to show up and play all the right chords at the right time, or are we leading people in worship? Are we engaging? And if you have somebody who's just not willing to do that or not willing to put in the time, then maybe we have to find somebody else for a season. I don't know. I mean, you've dealt with that maybe over the years. I mean, it sounds harsh, you know, but it's an important role, and it's not just finding people who can play music.